Let me begin with a story. When I was younger, I knew a man who had a big dream. Every day he would talk about the life he wanted, the things he would do, and the impact he would make. But there was one problem. He spent so much time worrying about what others thought, what others were doing, and how far behind he felt that he never got started. His dream stayed just at a dream. Now, here's the truth. Your dream is yours. Nobody else can see it the way you do. Nobody else is going to work for it the way you will. And the moment you stop looking left and right, comparing yourself to everyone else, is the moment you'll start to move forward. Success isn't handed out, it's earned. It's showing up on the days you don't feel like it, grinding when nobody's watching and believing when nobody else does. That's self-discipline. That's focus. You'll face distractions. People will have opinions. Some will doubt you, others will criticize you. But hear me when I say this, their voices do not define your future. You weren't put on this earth to meet their expectations. You were put here to chase a purpose only you can fulfill. The road will be hard. You'll fail more times than you can count. But don't let failure scare you. It's the training ground for success. Every misstep, every stumble is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's coming next. And while you're climbing, stay grateful. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It reminds you how far you've come and fuels you to keep going. Don't let success make you forget where you started or the people who helped you along the way. Speaking of people, choose your circle wisely. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, challenge you, and believe in you. And if they don't, be willing to walk alone. Some journeys require solitude. Finally, think about what you're leaving behind. Focusing on your dreams isn't just about you. It's about the lives you'll touch, the people you'll inspire, and the legacy you'll leave. So, I'll ask you this. Are you ready to bet on yourself? Are you ready to focus on your dreams like your life depends on it? Because it does. The world doesn't need another copycat. It needs you. So stand tall, lock in, and go get what's yours. When I was a teenager, there was a kid in my neighborhood named Marcus. Marcus wasn't the smartest in the classroom. He wasn't the best on the basketball court, and he certainly didn't have the coolest clothes. But Marcus had something rare. He had a dream and the kind of focus that could move mountains. Every afternoon, while the rest of us were out playing or getting into trouble, Marcus was working. He'd spend hours in his little garage fixing up old bikes he got from the junkyard. At first, we laughed at him. "What's he doing with that trash?" we'd say. But Marcus didn't care. He didn't flinch when we mocked him, didn't explain himself when people doubted him. He just kept his head down and worked. I remember one day, out of curiosity, I walked up to him. I asked Marcus, "Why are you always messing with these broken bikes? What's the point?" He looked up at me, wiped his hands on his shirt, and said, "Because one day I'm going to own the best bike shop in town. And every bike I fix is getting me closer to that." Now, you have to understand Marcus didn't have much. His family struggled to make ends meet. He didn't have money for fancy tools or supplies. But he had a vision, and he had the determination to see it through. Fast forward 10 years. Marcus didn't just open the best bike shop in town. He built a brand. People from all over came to him, not just because he made great bikes, but because his story inspired them. He turned that little garage dream into a thriving business. And the same people who doubted him, they were now lining up to shake his hand. You see, Marcus taught me something profound. He didn't waste energy comparing himself to anyone else. He didn't let our opinions distract him. He didn't let his circumstances define him. He focused on his dream, his path, and that focus turned what seemed impossible into something undeniable. That's the power of locking in on yourself. That's what happens when you choose to believe in your vision, even when no one else does. So tonight, I want you to think about this. What's your bike? What's that dream you're working on, the one you can't let go of? Because if Marcus could take junkyard scraps and turn them into something extraordinary, imagine what you can do with what you have right now. Self-discipline is the quiet force behind every great achievement. It's not glamorous, it doesn't get headlines, and it won't always get applause, but it's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Imagine waking up every morning knowing exactly what you need to do to move closer to your goal. That's self-discipline. It's the ability to choose what you want most over what you want right now. It's resisting the temptation to hit snooze because you know that extra hour of preparation might make the difference. It's skipping the distractions, the parties, the endless scrolling, the drama because you're laser focused on the future you're building. Here's the truth: motivation comes and goes. It's fleeting like a gust of wind. Some days you'll feel fired up, unstoppable, ready to conquer the world. But other days, you won't feel like getting out of bed. That's where self-discipline steps in. It's what keeps you moving forward when motivation runs out. I think of it like a muscle. The more you exercise self-discipline, the stronger it gets. At first, it's hard. You'll stumble. You'll want to quit. But every time you push through, you're proving to yourself that you can do hard things. And before you know it, the habits that once felt impossible become second nature. Self-discipline also brings freedom. It sounds like a contradiction, doesn't it? But when you master self-discipline, you're no longer a slave to distractions or impulses. You're in control. You're the one deciding how your time is spent, how your energy is used, and how your story unfolds. That kind of power is priceless. And let me be clear, self-discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up even on the tough days. It's about understanding that every small step forward matters even when it doesn't feel like it. Because those small steps taken over time lead to giant leaps. You want to know what separates the dreamers from the doers? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's self-discipline. It's the willingness to do what needs to be done, day in and day out, whether anyone's watching or not. That's where success is born. The grind is where greatness is forged. It's in the long hours, the sleepless nights, and the moments when no one else is watching that you truly define who you are. The grind isn't glamorous. It doesn't come with a spotlight or applause. But it's where you separate yourself from everyone else who says they want it but aren't willing to put in the work. When you embrace the grind, you understand that success isn't about luck or shortcuts. It's about showing up day after day after day and putting in the effort when it would be so much easier to quit. The grind tests your commitment. It asks, how bad do you really want this? Are you willing to push through the frustration, the setbacks, and the pain to get there? You see, most people give up when the grind gets tough. They hit a wall and think it's the end. But those who embrace it understand something different. The wall isn't there to stop you. It's there to see how badly you want to climb over it. Every obstacle, every challenge, every long night is building you. It's sharpening your skills, toughening your mindset, and preparing you for the moment when your opportunity comes. The grind teaches you patience because nothing worth having happens overnight. It teaches you resilience because setbacks are inevitable. And most importantly, it teaches you humility. You learn to respect the process, to understand that success is earned one step, one choice, and one effort at a time. Embracing the grind also means learning to love the process, not just the result. It's finding joy in the struggle, pride in the effort, and satisfaction in knowing you gave everything you had. Because the truth is, the grind doesn't just shape your achievements, it shapes you. It turns you into someone who doesn't back down, someone who doesn't make excuses, and someone who gets back up every single time they fall. When you embrace the grind, you stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start working with what you have. You stop dreaming about success and start building it. Because the grind isn't a punishment, it's a privilege. It's the price you pay for the life you want. And it's a price worth paying every single time. In today's world, noise is everywhere. It's in the opinions of others, the constant buzz of social media, the comparisons we make, and the doubts that creep into our minds. The noise tells you what you should be, how you should act, and what you're doing wrong. But if you want to achieve something extraordinary, you have to learn to silence that noise. Silencing the noise starts with understanding that not every voice deserves your attention. Not everyone will understand your vision. And that's okay, they weren't meant to. If you spend your time trying to please everyone or chasing their validation, you'll lose sight of what matters most, your purpose. You can't let the fear of judgment or rejection keep you from moving forward. The truth is, the loudest critics are often the ones doing the least. It's not just the voices of others you need to silence, it's your own self-doubt. That little voice inside that says, you're not good enough, you're not ready, or what if you fail? That voice can be louder than a critic. But here's the thing, those doubts are lies. They're rooted in fear, not truth. The moment you start believing in yourself, those doubts begin to lose their power. Silencing the noise also means stepping away from distractions. In a world where everyone's life is on display, it's easy to get caught up in comparisons. You see someone else's success and think, why am I not there yet? But what you don't see are their struggles, their sacrifices, or their grind. You're running your own race. Keep your eyes on your lane, not theirs. When you silence the noise, you create space for clarity. You can hear your own thoughts, trust your own instincts, and focus on what truly matters. You start making decisions based on what's right for you, not what's popular or expected. And that's when you find freedom, the freedom to pursue your dreams on your own terms. This doesn't mean ignoring feedback or advice. Wise counsel is valuable and learning from others is essential. But there's a difference between constructive guidance and destructive noise. Learn to tell the two apart and don't let the wrong voices steer your course. The journey to success isn't about how loud you can be or how much attention you can draw. It's about how focused you can stay. Silence the noise and you'll hear what really matters, the steady beat of your own determination driving you forward. Success is personal. It's not a one-size-fits-all formula, and it's not about living up to someone else's expectations. It's about defining what matters to you, what fulfills you, and what gives your life meaning. If you let society, friends, or even family dictate what success should look like, you'll spend your life chasing goals that were never truly yours. Defining your own success starts with self-reflection. What do you value? What makes you excited to wake up in the morning? Is it building something with your own hands? Helping others? Creating financial security? The answer is unique to you, and it might not make sense to anyone else. And that's okay. Success isn't about impressing others, it's about being at peace with the path you've chosen. Faith and belief are the foundation of every great journey. They are the quiet forces that keep you moving forward when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Without them, the road ahead feels uncertain, and the obstacles in your path seem insurmountable. But with them, you carry a strength that no setback can diminish and no failure can defeat. Faith is knowing that there's a purpose greater than what you can see right now. It's trusting that the work you're putting in today will bear fruit tomorrow, even if the results aren't immediate. Faith gives you patience, the ability to stay steady when the progress feels slow and the rewards feel far away. It's what allows you to plant seeds in the ground, water them diligently, and trust that they'll grow in their time. Belief, on the other hand, is what you hold within yourself. It's that unshakable conviction that no matter how hard it gets, you have what it takes to make it through. It's the voice inside that says, I can do this even when the world says otherwise. When you believe in yourself, you're no longer waiting for someone else to validate your worth or your abilities. You carry that validation within you. Together, faith and belief create a powerful combination. Faith reminds you that there's a plan unfolding even when you can't see it, and belief gives you the courage to act on that plan. They give you the resilience to face setbacks without losing hope and the strength to keep going when the path gets tough. Faith also keeps you grounded. It reminds you that you're part of something bigger than yourself, that your struggles have meaning, and that your efforts are connected to a greater purpose. It helps you see beyond the moment, beyond the pain or frustration to the possibilities that lie ahead. And belief? It's what makes those possibilities tangible. It's what turns dreams into action and action into results. It's the fire that pushes you to step out of your comfort zone, take risks, and keep striving even when success feels far away. The role of faith and belief isn't to guarantee that the journey will be easy or that every step will go as planned. It's to give you the confidence to stay the course, to find lessons in the setbacks, and to keep moving forward with the knowledge that everything you're doing has a purpose. When you carry faith and belief with you, you're unstoppable, not because life will be perfect, but because you'll have the strength to persevere no matter what. And in the end, that's what creates the kind of success that truly lasts. Taking risks and embracing failure are non-negotiable parts of any journey toward success. They are not roadblocks to avoid, they are stepping stones to growth, discovery, and ultimately achievement. If you play it safe, you may avoid the pain of failure, but you also rob yourself of the opportunity to learn, evolve, and reach your true potential. Every risk you take is a statement of belief in yourself. It's choosing to bet on your abilities, your vision, and your willingness to adapt, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. Risk is where the magic happens outside of your comfort zone, where things are uncertain and challenging. That's where you stretch yourself, test your limits, and find out what you're really capable of. But let's be honest, taking risks is scary. There's always the chance that things won't work out, that you'll fall short, or that you'll fail completely. And guess what? Sometimes you will. Failure is not just a possibility, it's a certainty at some point in your journey. But failure isn't final, it's feedback. It's the world's way of teaching you what doesn't work so you can figure out what does. Think about it, every success story you admire is built on a foundation of failures. Every inventor, entrepreneur, athlete, or artist you look up to has faced moments of defeat, moments when they could have given up. But instead of letting failure define them, they used it to refine them. They learned, adjusted, and came back stronger. Failure is proof that you're trying, that you're in the arena, putting yourself out there. The alternative, never taking risks, never failing, is a life of standing still, of wondering what if that's not living, that's existing. When you take risks, even if you fail, you gain something invaluable: experience, resilience, and the confidence that comes from knowing you had the courage to try. Embracing failure also means letting go of the fear of judgment. People may have opinions about your missteps, but their opinions don't determine your worth. What matters is how you respond. Do you let failure break you, or do you let it build you? Do you use it as an excuse to quit, or as fuel to keep going? Taking risks and embracing failure isn't about being reckless, it's about being bold. It's about understanding that the greatest rewards often come with the greatest risks, and that every stumble along the way is a lesson in disguise. Each failure brings you one step closer to success as long as you're willing to learn from it and keep moving forward. So take the leap. Say yes to the opportunities that scare you. Dive into the challenges that seem just out of reach. And when failure comes, as it inevitably will, welcome it as a teacher. Because every risk you take and every failure you face is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and ready to conquer the next challenge. As you walk away from this room tonight, remember this: your journey is yours to shape. The dreams you hold, the risks you take, the failures you face, and the grind you embrace, they all matter. They are the building blocks of a life well lived, a story worth telling, and a legacy that will outlast you. You have the power to silence the noise, to find success on your own terms, and stay focused on the vision that lights a fire within you. Let your faith guide you, your beliefs sustain you, and your discipline drive you forward step by step, day by day. The world is waiting for what only you can bring. Your potential is limitless, and your impact can reach further than you ever imagined. So bet on yourself. Take the risk, embrace the hard days. And above all, stay true to your path, because when you do, you'll not only transform your own life, you'll inspire others to do the same. This is your time, your moment. Your legacy is waiting. Go make it count.